scholarship is for students that struggle like me.
The program basically takes students who are deserving in San Diego and offers them a $10,000 scholarship in exchange for participating in service learning at a nonprofit here in San Diego. And they also receive a bunch of wraparound services while they're in our program. For example, they receive counseling, mental health counseling, to deal with any problems that they might be having, if they're stress related or family related, any emotional issues, anything that would be in the way of them being successful while they're in college. So we know that transitioning from high school to college is not an easy process, so we want to try and make it as comfortable as possible. We offer a bunch of seminars with our students for workforce skills, so we're helping them develop their soft skills so that they can not just receive a degree or transfer to a university, but also be able to get jobs in the workplace. We really are involved in helping our students build their character, to obtain a lot of self-confidence, to be able to speak in public, to be able to do well in interviews, to be able to go out in the world and advocate for themselves. So self-advocacy is really important in our program. And we also want them to develop the skills that they need to be successful in life and build their social capital, because that's a big part of our program. Well, we're looking at recruiting from 7 high schools that are underachieving primarily. The students are first in their family to come to college. They are, from all walks of life. Our program is pretty diverse, so we're serving students that are either Latino, African American. We have Karen students who have been refugees that are coming from refugee camps, which is really critical. So there's Somali students in our program, there's Muslim students in our program, and Asian students in our program. We have undocumented students. And the good thing about our program is 15 years, we have been serving students and giving scholarships to students where they were not able to qualify anywhere else. So we've been doing that for 15 years, and I'm very proud of that, because many of our students come in thinking, why am I even going to school? Because I won't be able to do anything, I won't be able to work. But throughout the program, we've encouraged our students to stay, and then the DACA came into being. So many of our students who were undocumented were able to qualify for the DACA program and able to get a TIN number to work and be able to do that and graduate from 4-year colleges. So we have quite a few students that have continued in school and have actually graduated from 4-year colleges, or in the workplace working with successful jobs and jobs that they love and that have benefits for their family. And they are very happy, and they continue to do lifelong service as well, because our program, we focus on 300 hours of volunteer service while they're here. They get a lot of skills and a lot of recommendations from their supervisors. They do well, and then they go out into the workforce and they figure there's more than just work, right? Because I'm used to doing volunteer work. So now I'm volunteering for Boys and Girls Club, or on my local library, or I'm volunteering for Girl Scouts, or whatever program that they are invested in. And some of our students have actually gone into working for nonprofits because they find that the most valuable and rewarding work, touching other lives and making a difference. The other thing that I am really proud of is that a lot of our scholars that were here even before I started in the program, they have graduated. Their children are now going to universities like UCLA and USC, which speaks very highly of the program. Since those students that came in were first generation, they had no one before them to model and help them navigate being in college. So now that they've had that experience, they are bringing their children in to having the same experience and supporting that. And it's very rewarding for me. We have a huge community on Facebook. So we have some of our scholars that were here in 2003, 2002. They have successful jobs. So their children, it's automatic that they're going to go to college. It's automatic that they're going to do well in the workforce and be successful like their parents. So that makes me feel very satisfied.
And I said, oh, Mom, you got a knot in your back. Let me rub this out. And she said, where? I was like, you don't feel this thing? It's huge. I can see it. And she said, oh, psh, I get that every month around rent time. She said it so casually. I'll never forget that moment.
I was in the middle of the semester. it was on a Saturday. I remember I found him on the floor when he was still struggling to get up. And one of the things that kind of was a reality check for me back then, my dad was basically dying on the floor, but he didn't want to call 911.
Many of the students that we recruit, including and in particular our men of color, really have been culturally trained to not accept help, to not look for help. There's a lot of secrecy in terms of the family issues, and we keep those behind closed doors.
And I asked him, should I call 911? And then one of the first things he says, and he was dying, and he said, "Wouldn't that be too expensive?" So he was more worried about how expensive the ambulance was going to be than his own life.
Like all of our scholars, because we handpick them, Clemente was a fighter, and we knew it. And I think always willing to ask for help, even when asking for help was difficult.
And I remember thinking, I was 17 at the time, you've got this every single month of my life. How many months is that? How many days do you struggle without anyone knowing? I remember that moment. I remember that moment looking and for the first time thinking, this isn't as easy as she makes it seem.
So Angie is a little powerhouse and has always had this tremendous energy. But I did have an opportunity to work pretty closely with Angie, and
we go see Leslie to talk about all this stuff that I keep inside. I'm saying, I get in Leslie's office in the first 2 days, if I'm being honest, I didn't say anything.
So, end of the story is my dad got paralyzed from the left side of his body and was only able to recover 100% movement on his right side hip. My dad hasn't been the same ever since the stroke.
We deal, we make do. That's good, but you also have to deal with it so that you're really healed from it. And that is where Leslie was so impactful to my life. The mental health portion of the Price Scholarship is a staple. It is important because we're dealing with students. The Price Scholarship is for students that struggle like me.
And then she started speaking, and right off the bat, when she started speaking and giving me counseling, I felt so happy and I felt so relieved that she understood what was going on, and she knew how to help me, and she knew what to say. And now, after that, I just opened up to her and said, you know what, this is exactly what's going on. So, and for me, that was a huge load off my back, and I can focus on school and I can focus on my other things. So for me, Leslie is the crucial part of it.
I don't have enough words to say how privileged I feel for people to give me that kind of trust, and to know that they're in a safe enough space where they can let down those barriers. And the amount of relief that you can see after a student has been able to let go, it's visible. So between the beginning of the session and the end of the session, there's just an incredible change when an event like that takes place.
Hi, my name is Sandy Bowler. I am a workforce development specialist for the San Diego Workforce Partnership. I've been with Price for over 12 years. I've had the opportunity to work with these youth in creating resumes, and these are resumes that are different than most people see.
Resume building, how to dress in an interview, how to speak, even how to shake a hand.
Public speaking is probably one of the biggest things that we've done with them, making them feel like they are worth getting up there and talking and not being afraid to do that. And
I've spoken in front of nationwide leaders and have been comfortable because I got taught how to do that.
Even till now, I still utilize a lot of things I learned with Sandy for my jobs, and how to dress up. When I go into my closet and look, I always go back and think, what was I thought?
We do telephone etiquette, teaching them how do you have manners on the phone and what does that still look like, since people seem to lose that. We talk about etiquette, which is texting and internet stuff and how to plan your future based on what you're putting on that internet right now.
I mean, leaders. If I name some of them off, you would be like, are you serious?
She's next.
Little old me.
Name a couple. Throw some names.
Oh, throw some names.
Driving Skills for Life. We spend a whole hour talking about how do you save lives by the way you drive.
So again, I'm a behavioral therapist for kids who have autism. So I do therapy basically every day of the week.
Right. What's one thing that you took from Price that helped you with where you're at now working?
Self-confidence for sure, motivation, and dedication.
The Vice President of Oral Roberts University, Dr. Kathleen Reed Martinez from Liberty University, she came over. I was her administrative secretary. I spoke for her in Geneva, Switzerland. Had the opportunity to meet our latest sitting president, Barack Obama. There have been seeds implanted in me from this program, and I give full homage to that.
So I teach them everything I knew how to survive, and I share that with them. Community support, being empathetic, coming to the table, standing up for what you believe in, and really loving who you are and knowing that you're worth everything and not to ever forget that.
How did they instill it on you back then?
I think it's a little bit of everything. I think a lot of the presentations and workshops, but I think Leslie and Clemente and Sandy and everyone in the program, they kind of live by that.
Price has meant so much to me. I think I've learned as much from the students as they've learned from me. Sometimes in life you don't know what your purpose is. I feel like my purpose has been Price and my opportunity with these youth. I believe that Price is probably the finest program that I've ever worked with. Price has changed lives. And to be a part of that has made me a better person.
And in her office, she sits me down, and I'm looking at all the pictures of all the Price scholars before me. And I say something to her that I've only ever dreamt of. I say, I think I want to go to Harvard.
And very, very, very spiritual, from a family that came, her mom was a pastor at her church.
And she looks at me with the most serious, intense, determined face, and she says, do it, without hesitation.
I spent the first 6 years of my life in San Diego, in this place, in this box, in this parking lot.
He came in super shy, super quiet, second language learner.
I don't want to do this anymore. It's too hard. It's just not doable. I can't do it. It's just too much.
What made you stay?
The only reason I stayed in college is because of Maria Elena.
So he became like a son to me, even more so. I pushed him. He continued in school here, even though I knew he was struggling. Many times he persisted and went on to SDSU.
That moment followed me through university. It followed me through different countries. It follows me now. She imparted in me, I can do whatever I want to do.
And like I said, it was so many times that I would just say, you know what, I'm done. But she will always come and then save you. And she does that for every single scholar.
I'm hoping we have some time to talk about what your stress level is and how you're handling it.
And I turned and looked at him and I thought, you know, I think he would make a great assistant. So he came into our program, actually interviewed for the job, got the job over other candidates, and knew our program, obviously, because he was in it.
She would put things in perspective that you don't really see at the moment. And it would open your eyes to say, you know, I'd like to give it another shot. I'd like to give it another try.
Came into our program, became an absolute great right arm to me. He continued and finished his bachelor's degree at SDSU.
I went from being a statistic, allowing those negative statistics to cloud my possibilities, to sitting before you, a college graduate
at Oral Roberts University, and she continues to be a very strong spiritual leader in her community.
going on to graduate school, looking towards the future, and proudly proclaiming to be a lifelong scholar.
And she did worldwide conferences. She has done study abroad programs while she was with us, and that has made her the amazing woman that she continues to be.
Because I found out in one day, in one room, in an office, with someone I totally admired, Maria Elena, looking me in the face and telling me, do it.
Really pushed Clemente to go ahead and get his master's degree, which he wound up at Point Loma and got his master's degree, and we all went to his graduation.
Do it all. And I'm gonna do it all.
They say, well, you've done so much for me. I said, you know, it's been a two-way street because I've learned from you just as much as maybe you've learned from me, and I feel so proud of your accomplishments, and I'm honored to be a part of your life. And if I had this much of an impact into keeping you in school, I feel like my job is complete.
Do icebreakers, and first of the semester we always do that because in each class it's new and you're trying to learn their names or trying to learn other people, so we do that to break the ice. We blind the students, and so each student's gonna be an animal. So for example, you're going to be a cat and another people's going to be a mouse or something like that. So what they have to do, they have to make the noises of the animal that they're...
Don't take it off yet.
So what you do is just hear other students that are around, but there's like 50 people around you, so it's really hard to try to find your group. You can hear like everybody laughing. Me as a facilitator is even fun because you can see everybody pumping into each other and everything. So yeah. Well, I think it's just to listen more your surroundings and just try to be also to be loud in some point because they were really shy.
He always told me to keep going in school, and because school was the key for success. He passed away when I was in a senior year, so it was in the middle when I was gonna graduate. I was gonna, keep going to school, and I wanted him to see me graduating. Okay, bye.
Yeah.
So when I graduated, I knew that I wanted to do more. I wanted to become someone. And I think I saw that with the Price Scholarship. Like, they were the ones who were telling me that school was the key. And I think that's what I connected with my father.
Being a single parent, it's not easy. I give a lot of props to my mom. She worked 3 jobs.
And it was very tough. But with the scholarship, it took a lot of pressure from my family.
She barely had enough money for rent, and what was left was what was left over. She used it for food, but it was not a lot of money left over.
Mis hijos son mi razón de vivir. Y ellos son los que me dan la fuerza a mí para seguir adelante, porque yo los veo ellos cómo le echan ganas a la escuela, para trabajar, todo lo que han sufrido, todo lo que han pasado, porque no es fácil, ni fue fácil, ni para ellos ni para mí.
Lusa told me, my mom works over at this restaurant, and they have really good pozole, and I know, Marilena, you like pozole. So I went over there on one Saturday morning, and his mom was cooking, and she came up to the table, and I said, I have Luce and JP in my program.
Y echarle ganas a la escuela porque es lo único que podían hacer para que no tuvieran como yo andaba batallando.
And she was so touched, and she reached over and grabbed my hands and said, I just really want to thank you for everything you've done.
Gracias por todo el apoyo que le da a estos niños que de verdad necesitan salir adelante, por todo el apoyo que le han dado a mis hijos y a María Elena, todo lo que han hecho por ellos. Y tú también, que has apoyado mucho a mi hijo. Gracias.
One semester I was taking like 15 units and I was a bit short on money and I didn't have money for a book. And I talked to Maria Elena, I was like, I can't afford this book. And I remember she offered to buy the book for me.
We have always struggled financially. Like, my parents separated when we were little. My mom had 3 kids, and she's always struggled. She's always struggled financially.
She just told me, go ahead and buy the book, and then just bring the receipt to the program, and the program will pay for it.
Cool. How did you do in that class after you got your book?
I got an A in that class.
The day I graduated was one of the it was one of the happiest days of my life.
Eso para usted, madre. Gabby, welcome to Still Being Employed. These are for the picture.
And he bent over and he had a special thank you message for his mother on the top of his mortarboard. And we were all basically sitting there crying because it was just such a powerful moment.
I'm the first one to graduate ever in my family history. My mom was so proud of me. I was so proud of myself. My brothers, my sister couldn't stop hugging me. It was a very emotional day for me.
A 3-day retreat. A 3-day retreat. Let me tell you, Price is crazy.
I remember going to a retreat. The retreat is so much fun. It's a retreat every single year that they recruit, that they sign up new people for Price. We attend the retreat. It was so much fun. On that retreat, magic happens. Magic happens because we leave on a Friday and we come back on a Sunday.
Well, on our retreat, I'm terrified of heights. So I climbed up this pole because it was required. And I stood there. I was like, forget this. I ain't jumping nowhere.
When we leave on Friday, we barely know each other. When we come back on a Sunday, we're already a family.
You can do it. Jump. We got you. Don't worry. We're here. Go, one by one until they all were cheering for me. Who does that? Who sticks around when you're scared? Who sticks around when you're sad? Who sticks around when you take them off? Price family does.
Many faces, many voices, many roles, one family, Price.
We bond so much, and after that we consider ourselves sisters and brothers. And through Price, I can say that I have built lifetime relationships.
We had a saying, we came up with it together. Many people, no, many faces, many voices, one family, Price. That is what Price is and was to me.
The retreat has been an incredible part of our program, and every year we do something called open mic, and we have lots of entertainment, and we also have lots of dancing. So we have a opportunity for the staff to participate at the beginning to show the students that we will never ask you to do anything that we're not willing to do ourselves.
It was nice. Actually, at first we were really nervous doing the presentation and everything, but it was pretty nice. I think while we were doing the dance, like we get to feel like more confident with us.
The Price Scholarship Program has been around like 20 years, so we wanted to know how effective are we really. So we asked for some bids, and we got a bid from the University of California at San Diego from the CREATE program. So they did a study of our program, or evaluation, and they had some incredible results. If you look at the first graph, the report had 3 different sections, but the first section really is measuring the cumulative credits from our Price Scholars as opposed to students who are here on our campus. So students who receive our program and students who do not receive any program. And if you look at the first graph, you see that the Price Scholarship participants are way, way ahead of students that do not have any other program services. So we're very outstanding in that area. We're also looking at cumulative credits. So the cumulative credits that students take in our program, we're excelling in those 2 areas. Transfer rate as well, and even in the students that are seeking jobs and satisfied in the jobs that they now have in their life. The study is very significant. In fact, this is statistically significant in terms of the outcomes. How many of our students are actually being successful, retaining full-time status, as well as transferring to other colleges, and being able to utilize the skills that they learn in our program for other things like jobs and interviews, and they become very successful in all of those areas.
I work in one of the most amazing jobs that I can think of. I love what I do, which is helping students, and not only Price students but everybody else in the community. It gives me the opportunity to help others, and I love that. And this is also a bridge for me to go even higher and to be able to help even more people in the future. I have my degree in college counseling, so that's the next step, to become a counselor, to reach higher, and thanks to Price, it's just amazing. I love working with students and laughing with them.
Just for like a second. Come on. Okay, 1, 2, 3.
And it's makes my day every day, and I'm also able to pass on my knowledge to them. I teach them stuff every day. They teach me stuff every day. And what else can I ask for? But a smile on someone's face. It's priceless.
the dance.
My name is Christian Peñalosa.
And my name is Raymond Velasquez.
My name is Samaya Ali.
I'm a Price Scholar.
And I'm a Price Scholar.
And I'm a Price Scholar.
And I'm a Price Scholar.
I'm a Price Scholar.
I would like to say muchas gracias.
And I just want to say thanks.
Gracias.
Gracias.
Thank you.